जय जय राम 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 जय जय राम श्री 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 राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Can you hear?
Hari Om, can you all hear? Something
Hari Om.
Hari Om Swami Ji.
Hari Om, Pranam Swami Ji.
Pranam.
Hari Om Swami Ji. Pranam.
So, Hari Om.
Pranam Swami.
So, where are we now? Tirupati.
Tirupati.
Tirupati. The moment we go through this particular chapter, what comes out, what strikes out in our mind, you know?
Hari Om.
We can't hear what you said. Hari Om.
You can continue.
Somebody said something, you know. Can you hear?
Swamiji.
Yes.
Eh?
Yeah. They can hear.
You said something, Somebody said something.
Jayanti aunty.
Hari Om Amma, you are able to hear Swamiji's voice? Yes, yes.
Somebody said something. What is?
Swamiji is asking.
You are asking something from Swamiji. Swamiji wants you to just tell it.
No, he's explaining.
He is telling Jayanti aunty.
So the moment we open this particular chapter, what is it that strikes? What is it that well up in our mind? We are not talking about the episode. Is there any message?
Papa's message comes, Swamiji.
What is the message?
Papa.
Complete surrender, Swami.
Ram never errs, and a complete trust in him means full security and best guidance. It need not tally with what is happening outside. That also we should know. The surrender or the complete trust in him means, that doesn't mean that what we have labeled normally as positive, favorable, that need not happen. That may happen, that need not happen. But even then our faith remained the same. So this particular chapter gives us that message. Just imagine a person walking 700 steps and reaching the place in extreme winter. And then at about 12 o'clock in the midnight, he is not allowed to go inside, biting cold. So, and they were searching for Dharamshala. There or no, it was terrible. But even at that particular moment, we have never seen him grumbling or complaining. Because in the beginning, we will find this word, Ram never errs. And a complete trust in him means full security and best guidance. This is very, very difficult for all of us to accept, But this is something on which we have to keep on thinking. When we say his guidance, his protection is there, we need not think that it will be in line with what desire we have or what we have defined as positive. We don't know whether it is clear.
Yes.
Swamiji, one point here, Swamiji. One of the Anandashram devotees went to Tirupati for darshan, and he could not darshan after waiting for a long time and could not transfer the head of the children. But they prayed to Papa, requesting him to get the darshan, otherwise I will not come to Tirupati at all. They told like that. So immediately one fellow came and gave them to 3 VIP passes and got darshan and went like that. After what happened, Swamiji. Very long time back. The devotee has told me like that. It has happened so like that. So even if it doesn't happen, if you pray, sometimes he gives darshan also, I think, isn't it?
It need that what we are trying to understand is whenever our faith, our trust in him
Yes.
is not measured by the outcome of our desire.
Understand.
At times, the prayer is heard. At times, the prayer is not heard.
That's it.
So even at that time, he was unshaken. So this is the message. I may be having faith, but the faith gets shaken when things are not happening in the way in which it should happen.
Right, sir.
So that is the point here. He says, Ram never errs. And a complete trust in him means full security and best guidance. And then, when they were asked to go out, he said, Swami, it is impossible to think so much the better. All the time can then be devoted to Ram Bhajan, the Bhajan of the all-powerful, all-loving being. That is all right for you, but I should suggest a move, the other man says. Receiving no reply from Ramdas, who was then engaged in the meditation of Ram, the Sadhu Ram laid himself down. So he was contemplating, he was dwelling on God remembrance. He was not at all affected. This is something, very difficult for us. We can read this, but when we are put in such a situation, whether we will be able to hold on to the faith, each one only knows. To him, it was possible. So this ideal also should be there. A devotee, God will test us in so many ways. So our prayer, certain times our prayers are heard, certain times our prayers are not heard. It is not because he is unjust, because we have to go through that particular test for our own spiritual improvement. To scale the heights, we need such things. We don't know that. But now we come to know. So even if a failure comes, we are praying to him, kindly ensure that my faith in you does not get diluted at all. Because I am fully with myself. I have not brought you in my picture. If I bring you in my dealings, this can happen. But 99 out of 100 or 99.99 out of 100, in spite of my association with ashram, in spite of my going through papas, in spite of my doing Ramnam, in times of crisis, I get shaken. I am unable to hold on that you have some purpose behind this. You have some purpose behind my putting me to go through such experience, which is the bitterest or very difficult for me to accept. But give me that feeling. Now we are praying that. Give me that feeling. Even when I am put to test, I should have the same trust. I should have the same faith in you. I should not be shaken. If this is not with us, the risk is there. Every time we may feel, when I go and pray to Papa, he gives me, Not necessarily that he will hear our prayers. You remember Papa himself telling, blessing, 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 nothing doing. Somebody asked for blessings. Papa sent a wire, blessings. Again he asked, again. Third time also he asked, Papa sent blessings. So he said, thrice I got blessing, but nothing happened. So he sent it, blessing, 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 but nothing doing. He doesn't know how to express, that's all. Nothing has happened. So these are all the ways in it. That is why it has been explicitly mentioned in God experience, this particular experience, so that we should know as devotees that we do not expect God to toe in line with what we have. He may have his own reasons not to hear our prayers or to make us to go through such severe. In his own life we have seen that, He was made to go through a period of terrible stress, That is the first word he said. In a world full of chaos, anxieties and pains, it was a period of terrible stress and restlessness. So everyone has to go through in their life. So this particular chapter makes it clear for us. He is the great provider, he is the great support, but at the same time, we need not think that it should be in line with what we have prayed for.
It's a very good message.
Eh?
It's a very good message, Swamiji. Really.
He may have his own reasons to withhold. Everyone can go back to their own life. There will be many moments when we know things may not be going exactly like what we wanted. Oh, I think I. Anything else from that very chapter?
Swamiji, Swamiji,
Ah.
Papa was in such clear communication with Ram that he was in a cave and one day he got a message or I don't know and he started walking to the railway station. And railway station a train was standing for him and he went to Tirupati. And this is something remarkable. So much in tune with Ram and automatically he is just following. This is something very difficult, I find that. We also get sometimes some kind of advice from inside, especially don't eat this or do this, do not do that, but we do. I mean, I have two persons in me. I do what I want. I don't listen to that. Many times, sometimes I listen also. But in his case, there is no listening, no talking, it is all spontaneous. He was in a cave, he got up, started walking to the railway station, a train was standing, and he left for everything. Things started happening in such a manner, he went to Tirupati. This is something so completely in tune.
No, but sometimes when he went, he was asked not to enter also.
Now, when you say this, what comes to our mind is two things. One is he was coming right from the cave. So the nearly a month's intense inward journey has given him further clarity, more clarity about the presence of Ram, not only in him, everywhere. So that background is very firm, right? Second thing is, that is why, he did not intend, he had not planned for a Tirupati visit. As you said, the train ran up to the Katpadish junction. Here Ram brought him in touch with a Sadhu Ram to guide him. He promised to take him to Tirupati, in which direction the train was running. O Ram, thy plans are indeed always mysteriously worked out. So it is not that he wanted to go. Then the Sadhu Ram said, okay. So if it is possible, 700 steps and after that 3 miles walking. 700 steps and 3 miles walking in the biting cold atmosphere. And then it was denied. There also we find the two things. The shivering sadhus hastened to the spot, pressed themselves there was a fire around which number of people were sitting. Ram was indeed kind. Then the Sadhu Ram requested the watchman to permit himself and Ramdas to spend, which request was not granted. It was all Ram's will. To come out of the temple meant complete exposure to the strong and extremely cold breeze. Then he says Ram's will. No? So the cold will not allow us to wink. All right, all the time can be devoted to Ram Bhajan. So the three things. One is he is straight away coming from the 1 month inward journey. So can we now take it that this is another message for us? When we are regularly dealing with the mundane activities, there is every likelihood that our definition of plus and minus, positive and negative, favorable and unfavorable, might slowly creep into our mind. But when we do intense sadhana to get it stabilized, that everything is happening only by His will, and then when we come out of it, we are trying to view things on that perspective. It could be, we don't know. This is another revelation that just comes up. Then anything else? We move to the next one. God is everywhere. Here also it is very clear, no? If we leave the episodes. The message is that we might be doing spiritual discipline, limiting our activities to a particular place. We would have got some experience also. But unless we expose ourselves, it will not be tested. Vinobaji in his talks on the Gita, he says, a person goes to the forest and he does intense tapas. He has been able to stay there under severe unfavorable conditions. He comes out, goes for bhiksha. So the rattling sound or the child's sound, it disturbs. Immediately, he loses his temper. What happened to the tapas he had, self-denial he had? Immediately, it is shaken. So that means when we shut ourselves from the outer environments, outer challenges, duties, commitments, we do not know.
To see world as God is what Papa says.
See the world as God.
Correct. So here we should know that the same attitude whether we can maintain while coming out. Otherwise, what will happen? I will define spirituality it will not be a comprehensive experience. It will be a partial one. So that is why Papa clearly mentions here to the sub-inspector, God is everywhere, but he wants to have this fact actually proved by going to all places and realizing his presence everywhere. Different types, varied manifestations, different types of situations, different types of objects, different types of individuals, different types of temperaments. Whether we are in a position to see that, then only it becomes all comprehensive. So in order to make us know this, he says, God is everywhere, but he wants to have this fact actually proved by going to all places and realizing his presence everywhere.
Swamiji?
Whether this is absolutely necessary or not, we will not say that. Because in the case of Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, he did not go out, you know. So that also changes. We cannot say that this is the general one. But we have seen many, when they have retired to the forest or cave, when we go there for darshan, they are always peaceful. That is also there. But here, Papa brings it out that if it has to become all-comprehensive, then it is better to, otherwise, you know, the mind may not be free from this. In Ramana Bhagavan's case also, people were coming, he was meeting, you know. The only thing is he was not going out. Different types of people were coming to him.
Swamiji? This is Sahaja Samadhi.
Sahaja Samadhi. Quite right. Yes, now we feel, no, Ramana Bhagavan, when he was seeing one time, on the one side he was seeing the administrative setup. So certain things do not go as per the administrative setup. And different types of devotees, bhaktas, you know. So some people ask, some people don't ask. So he was also exposed to, and everywhere he was able to keep up the same. So God is everywhere, but he wants to have this fact actually proved by going or by interacting, you know, and realizing his presence everywhere. So the message is, let us not think that whatever experience we have in the spiritual journey, it is not full. At no time we should feel it should always be a coma. Because it should become an all-comprehensive experience. Later on you will find the same word when he wanted to change the dress. When he switched over to the white clothes again, this is what he said. He felt, wait a minute. He says, as for Ramdas in the later stages, finding that the orange-colored cloth was proving to be an obstacle to his attainment of an all-comprehensive spiritual perfection. So all-comprehensive, you know.
Exact meaning, Swamiji.
Whether I am in the white cloth or in the orange-colored cloth.
Yes.
Whether I am in this in an ashram or on the business line.
Yes.
Wherever I am, if I am in a position to maintain the same mental equilibrium, then it is all-comprehensive. Otherwise, there is a risk involved. The mind may feel that to realize him, a particular type of, there are certain prerequisites. Though there are some prerequisites necessary to prepare ourselves, a certain stage comes when all these prerequisites are dropped or they drop off by themselves. Then only it is all comprehensive. Because he is there in everybody and in everything, you know, in every situation. Not
Occur rope is selective.
Eh?
Occur rope Swamiji cannot be selective. They are all meant for common for all.
Ah,
And white robe, what is the difference?
you know?
White, what is difference?
The exact difference between ochre and white robe.
Difference between ochre and white.
Normally we know, when somebody takes to the order of sannyas, they put this ochre cloth.
Yes.
And it is a helpful thing, but it's also a hindrance. It is a helpful thing for a sadhaka, because this will remind him there are certain things, do's and don'ts, and it reminds us that our life should be consecrated fully on meditation of him and service to him. So that means I should be always constantly become aware. But at the same time, in the process, what happens is I am distancing myself from the rest of the people. People may feel that I am to be worshipped, I am to be respected, I am to be this, I am to be that. I am treated separately. Unknowingly, the ego which is trying to get itself out comes back. So the Papa clearly mentions after a certain stage, it becomes a hindrance. Even if we want to be joined with everybody will keep away from us. So all comprehensive means the very fact that each and every creation is blessed with the Creator's presence. And it is not that in ochre colored people who are wearing it is more, and in white clothes it is less. Because if you go through Thus Speaks Ramdas, first article, you will find this word. He is there in entirety and perfection in every creation. He is there in entirety. Then that means not 25% here or 30% there or 50%. A man who is ignorant of God, a man who denies God, a man who is a devotee of God, in all of them he is there equally. Only the degree of revelation has not come, that's all. That changes. The curtain, in a realized soul, the curtain has been completely, it becomes transparent. In ours, probably it may be opaque or translucent. Either we may not be aware of anything connected with God, or we may have some idea about God, translucent. But in the case of a God-realized saint, it is transparent. He is able to see God, the reality in anything and everybody. So this is what Papa meant, all-comprehensive. Anything that separates you from others. So to be very frank, we don't know whether from Papa's school of philosophy what we have learnt is sannyas means to become a zero, not to become anything. Because in the second chapter he says, remove the me and mine.
Yes.
So that means I have to become zero. Instead of that, unknowingly, previously I was so and so, now I am also another so and so. Only the name has changed. Probably at that time the sense of egoism might be less. Now it must be more. Because wherever you find, so we just think about not only Papa, we think about Puja Mataji, She was wearing only white clothes.
Yes, white clothes.
She Anandamaya Ma. She Amritanandamaya Ma.
Yes.
You can see number of people. So it is not that the ochre color
Or white.
It doesn't matter at all. No, even before if the ochre color was owned, God was there. God has been there. It is not that the moment we put this, he comes and settles down. He has been there. He will be there. That is why we all feel, when are we going to get ourselves freed from this? We are praying to Him, give us the strong prompting. It should not disturb any other. But at the same time, the necessity to hold on to this color is becoming less and less. Because all comprehensive means we should become one with everybody, losing the sense of individual. Suppose I go to Kajanghat station, because I am not in touch with any social, programs. Nobody knows us. So when we go there, it is easy. We are one among the hundreds or thousands there. There, probably the only thing somebody may look at us because of the color of the cloth. That's it. Suppose you go to Mangalore, finished. Only when you are near the ashram, So suppose then you see, you are one with, so that there is no preferred treatment by anybody. Then nobody says, oh, you come sit to all those things, nothing will be there. What everybody gets, we also get it. If everybody is denied, we are also denied. Such experiences do come, and it will be wonderful to watch. So Papa talks about this all-comprehensive. So that is why God is everywhere, but He wants to have this fact actually proved by going to all places, realizing His presence everywhere. Not necessarily this particular place, this particular order, this thing.
This statement has got any restriction on the ochre rope?
This statement has restriction on the ochre rope.
Restriction. That is why in Anandashram's legacy, no such importance is given. Ashram doesn't give sannyas to anybody. Ennachi?
I wrote something. Thank you.
Yeah. So anything else from this chapter? Another message we feel is that when Ram wants to double check whether the purpose of motivating Papa to take up this tour is actually bearing fruit. So first he made him to say that he was put on this yatra to see Ram everywhere. Now, that is a general statement. But when the ticket inspector insists, can you tell me where he is? It's a big test,
Yes.
So immediately he says, behold, he is here, standing in front of me. Where? Here, pointed out, smiling and patted on the broad chest of the inspector himself.
Swamiji?
Yes.
Auntie, bolo.
The moment you called, we stopped to hear your.
Sorry. This is now and here?
Is this now and here?
Now and here, correct. Exactly. Now and here. Not that I will complete the Inquest of God trip and come back. No, now and here. You are right. Because that is the test, Ram puts Papa there. whether he maintained that now and here attitude. Yes, that is the right word. Now and here. Now we understand what is now and here. When the test is given, immediately we say, yeah. Here, pointed out, smiling and patted on the broad chest, in the tall figure standing in front, that is in yourself, Ramdas clearly sees God who is everywhere. So two powerful messages from this chapter. So we can
Swamiji,
say,
we never thought from this point of view.
We never thought this.
we never thought, today is revealing.
Yeah.
Today is revealing.
Yes.
Because yesterday or day before yesterday when we were reading the prayer, adorable presence, we do not ask anything else, only this. Now and here. So we simply say that now and here. We have some idea of what is now and here. But exactly now, he says now through the experience, how do we experience this now and here? So he was not seeing the ticket inspector, he was seeing the ticket God encased in the form of a ticket inspector. Tirupati also it had happened the same thing. That is why he did not put a label that things are not conducive. He was at ease. But different types. Situations are also okay. God is there. Persons are also there. God is there. One more thing. Intellect is not working. And because of the what do you call this? His no.
Imaginative faculty.
Because of his authenticity, the expression of authenticity, the ticket inspector also did not question this. His intellect was also maimed down. Otherwise he will ask, no, I am a ticket inspector, how can you say God? So the intellect, the working of the intellect is not there, and Papa's experience, the authentic way of expressing it with the body language, did not allow the intellect to raise in the ticket inspector also.
It became all inclusive.
Yes.
It's a wonderful lesson.
Swamiji,
It was spontaneous.
Spontaneous. Absolutely spontaneous.
Swamiji, this is another place where Papa raises the opposite party, opposite person, like the two boys in the train, he raised them. So similarly here also the ticket collector, he raised him
Yeah.
to a higher level.
Yeah. He was viewing it from a higher level, not from individual to individual. We can now.
Even the Papa thinks like that the higher level going to should be felt by the inspector, isn't it? He is kept quiet. So that means,
Inspector also felt the higher.
For a time the inspector looked confused. Then he broke into a hearty fit of laughter. Opening the door, he requested them to get in. I cannot disturb you, friends. I wish you all success in your quest of God. With these words, he left the carriage. So you see the change,
From normal to higher level.
So his intellect also did not. He was able to derive. It might be a wonderful experience in his life. That is why immediately, spontaneously, he was prompted to break the rule again, allow the ticketless traveler to travel.
Sure. Yes, to be felt.
Then we move to the kind policeman. What is the message?
Again here also,
Policeman breaks the rule with the station master.
As soon as the policeman comes and asks them to get in, they did not get in. Immediately they said, Sadhuram told him that the ticket collector would not allow them to go. The policeman then, going to the place where the clerk and the station master were standing, placed the case of the sadhus before them, saying, so it was not, it is not that the policeman wanted to break the law straight away. Whenever we handle, he was prompted to somehow allow these people to go. So he told them, you please get into the carriage. So when they said, no, the other person has already said we should not travel, he said, he did not boss over, said, I will see to it. No, nothing like that. He went and pleaded for them. You see, these sannyasis deserve to be allowed to get into the train. As regards ticket, they cannot be expected to carry money, since money is not their quest, as in the case of worldly people. A very, very, honest, sincere, genuine.
At the risk of his own job. At the risk of his own job.
No, at that time there is no risk, Human to human, no. So he was a policeman, but he was also a human being with humaneness in him. So when he saw that you get in, no, they have told not to go. Immediately he did not say, I will tell them, no. He went and pleaded, and with a genuine heart, Why they are allowed, why they should be allowed. That beautiful word. You see, these sannyasis deserve to be allowed to get into the train. As regards tickets, they cannot be expected to carry money, since money is not their quest, as in the case of worldly people.
Reason also.
Think about it, no? Previously, we would not have applied our mind on this. So whenever we handle, we should try our level best to go as far as possible along with the norms. And when it is questioned, we can be firm. And we should be able to face the consequence. Because then afterwards, he was also an individual. So he got annoyed by the explanation given by the ticket inspector. Then he opened the door and took the bold step up. And then he answered. He said, in a matter of this kind, there is no higher authority than the dictates of one's own conscience, which are rightly considered as the promptings of God Himself. It's a message for all of us. Conscience, manasakshi. So manasakshi, normally we say manasakshi illa ki pesarana. Manasakshi illa samsarikana. That means, God's presence is called. The witness consciousness is called here, manasakshi. So conscience means, we can say, to some extent we can say that stands for the witness conscience. That's why he says, which the dictates of one's own conscience, which are rightly considered as the promptings of God Himself. So we should apply our mind more and more on it. It will be spontaneous, it will be free from vested interest. It will be free from any reservation or any doubt. Clear, absolutely clear. He says the conscience is clear because there is no doubt about it. That he and this policeman, who took this initiative, he says these words. Look here, brother, he replied in a cool but firm voice, in a matter of this kind, there is no higher authority than the dictates of one's own conscience, which are rightly considered as the promptings of God himself. The promptings of God means we should know that it should be free from any type of vested interest. It should be spontaneous. And from the worldly standpoint, there may be some reactions, negative or positive. He is not bothered. So two things. One is, even though I am an employee, even though I am a public worker, even though I am a so-and-so, I should be humane. But at the same time, I should go through the norms. Gandhiji's life, it is a testimony. Every time, whenever he was breaking the law, it was not at all for any selfish purpose. It was not taking a pinch of salt in Dandi, because it is against the rule. So he gives advance information, not in a hush-hush manner. And he is not asking somebody to do it. He himself went and did it. No? Somebody asked, when Rajaji came all the way from Chennai and asked, what has it got to do with freedom movement? He said, like a child, he said, I don't know, I was prompted. The inner call came, we are responding, that's all. Not at all bothered about the intellectual analysis, Yeah, here also the freedom from the intellectual bondage.
Swamiji, we are now seeing two different kinds of policemen. One in Pondicherry was so different.
Correct.
You have a more tamasik attitude.
Correct.
And here you have a sattvic attitude.
Yeah, you are right. So God can be in different forms.
Yes, Swamiji, Hari Om. Thank you, sir.
Beautiful. You are right, we should remember that also. Anything else from this chapter? O Ram, he says, O Ram, what can poor Ramdas, thy slave, understand by this incident? Why, when thy omnipotent hands are at work, nothing can stop or obstruct thee. O kind and loving protector of the universe, thy one touch can change in a moment the entire face of the universe. The very policeman who is stationed on the railway's platform to prevent passengers from breaking the rules of the company deliberately breaks all such rules himself and seats two sadhus in the train, knowing fully well that they had no tickets, and this too in the face of bitter opposition and at the risk of losing their job. O Ram, it is now beyond any doubt that thou art seated in the hearts of all, inducing the whole universe to act and move in strict accordance with thy sovereign will. Ram, thou art indeed the true lover of thy devotees. Thy slave cannot find words to express thy greatness and thy love. O tears flow on, and this is the only way Ramdas can express this feeling. Last one is another message. The gratitude can be expressed from two levels. One from the intellectual level and one from the feeling level, mind level. So there the tears might come. So gratitude is there, but the gratitude comes from the bottom of the heart. Not because they were allowed to go. He was seeing, how God breaks the rules which he himself has created. So his will finally prevails. If we try to raise a little higher than the episode, then we will find this message also. It is a strict accordance with thy sovereign will. Thy slave cannot find words to express thy greatness. Only through this greatness. Oh, tears flow on. This is the only way Ramdas can express his feelings. So tomorrow we can take up Jagannath Puri. Again 15, no? Again this 15, this is 15, 14. Oh. When we reach 15, we will again have a recap. Again, anything strikes out. The moment we say IQG, the moment we feel we are trying to convince our mind that we are on an in-depth study of IQG, whether what is the net take-home message for us. A take-home message that will help us in our day-to-day dealings, not a take-home message for our research or for our knowledge. A take-home message where it will give us peace, a restful nature, equanimity, contentment, free from grumblings and complaints. These are all something which we all want. Whether all these 13 chapters we have covered, whether it has given us some clues, hints, that we try to repeat to others, ourselves. Probably then we can name we are on an in-depth study. Probably that is what probably Mataji meant by going within. Spontaneously such things come, The moment we go through a particular word, now the light comes, Anything else?
No, Swamiji, we are just very, very grateful that you are doing this again and again with us.
Grateful to him. He is prompting us, not to leave. Because we will be stepping into October now. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 9 months. 9 months, how many times he made us to say these words, in quest of God, in quest of God, in quest of God, IQG, 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 in-depth study, in-depth study, in-depth study. What a, with patience, perseverance, he does not leave us. So we are now 100% assured that he will all definitely, just like Mataji said after 11 times, it is not that we may realize his presence, but we will realize that we are on our journey towards him. We are moving nearer to him. We may even have some glimpse of his presence. That assurance comes. How? What we have been seeing this for the 9 months. even though there were little breaks here and there. So many dimensions. Connecting up with our own life,
Sure.
So let us, yes, we should be grateful to him. Because if he has not given this opportunity, we would not have known at all. So we continue to pray to him, whatever may be our limitations or indifference, which we may unknowingly express. You have been accommodating all our nonsense. So kindly now remove all that is blocking us. And you mentioned 3: love, light and bliss. Make us to understand more and more of this. Love, we know intellectually, it stands for absence of otherness. Light, always becoming conscious of his presence. Bliss, a state where we feel fullness in total disregard to any individual or any possession or objectless happiness, So intellectually you have cleared that also. Now we would like to have a taste of these 3. Kindly bless us. When you make us to take up Jagannath Puri, and from there to so many chapters, give us more and more light. This prayer should also go on along with our in-depth study. Now, one more thing, it is becoming clear. We should somehow ask the intellect to keep quiet, Surrender. That is the one language, that is the one thread that is there throughout these 37 chapters. So total. So the job of the intellect, it can retire to some other work. When you make me to deal with others, I need your help. But when I deal with him, I don't need you. And your presence may be a hindrance to me. This sort of approach, When I deal with your other creation, Vyavaharic level, I need intelligence. Intellect has got a role to play. But when I am moving towards you, intellect has to keep quiet. Their feelings are important. Surrender is important. That is also becoming clearer and clearer.
Let the intelligence go to hell.
These are all the revealments, revelations that are coming out. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Namaskaram, Swami.
Namaskaram, namaskaram.
Pranama, Swami.
Pranam, 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 pranam.